to you. Thank you so very much for joining this series of 12 webinars that gears you with skills and mindsets to lead at your best in crisis time. The question to you is, why would your team members choose to follow you as their leader in this crisis time? So this is not going to help. This is not working. Now let's focus on what is going to work. And that's where I have the privilege of interviewing today Mr. Vidyadhar Limaye, Managing Director of Forestia India. Very good lessons for all of us from the battlefield. I'm thinking now, Vidyadhar, you've got to motivate your people in this context, right? After you've driven an understanding of the situation and an acceptance of the necessary constraints of it. So how do you motivate your people in this crisis time, day to day?
Well, this task wasn't that easy. However, what I did is following to build my team's motivation and helping them enhancing their performance by developing intimacy, openness, and transparency among each other. So I called all my direct reportees for a workshop and asked them to share individually what makes them happy, what is the toughest life experience that they had, and what did they learn from it, what is their life motto, and how to get the best from them. It was a very interesting exercise that we did together. The next thing that I'm going to do with my team is to pair them so they can offer each other positive feedback and figure out how they can best support each other.
I've put together 7 insights I gleaned over the years from senior leaders I've had the privilege to coach, right? Before I share them, I want to say that insight number 0 is take care of your sharpness and your stamina. Like we spent a whole first webinar on it. It's most important to be able to lead in the crisis, right? So now, practically, what are must-dos that help senior leaders in crisis time? First, they've got to be the trusted one, like you could see, you could say in the poll. 7th tip, protect at least 2 times 2 hours per week for you in absolute solitude to think at your best, right? I've got a client in Latin America in the hospitality business. She used to fly all over Latin America, yeah? And now she's established those 2 time slots of 2 hours each, and in her calendar she wrote flying time, because when she was flying all over the subcontinent, or the continent, then she was doing her thinking. Right?
Choose a second exercise. For the second exercise, you just have to sit on a chair. Okay, you will grab your head this way.
You appear to have stayed very positive and energetic. How did you manage to do it?
About motivation, when I said it's important to give hope to people, so that's highly motivating, right? Celebrate small wins, right? And also I talked about the importance of establishing close relationship, the feeling of a team, as Vidyadhar demonstrated as well, right? That's very motivating, and also having people feel they lead from their place, their chair, right? Is super motivating because it boosts their confidence and their pride, and therefore opens up new possibilities for them to perform at a higher level, and all of that is motivating. So how to do that, right? So cut the crap. I have a bad news today, and that is that Second, I feel bad about it, and I know you feel bad about it because yeah. And then we have a choice. We can feel miserable and drop the ball, or we can activate the superheroes in us and fight together to win the war. What superpowers do we have still? And then we start a brainstorming, right? And perhaps we identify that we have a team spirit, we have speed, we have experience, we have knowledge, and this and that. And that starts to bring hope that, yes, we can rebound. And at the end, ask your people, so having brainstormed all of that, what are we going to do? And let them decide. And with this, I want to say that at the moment, you can download this slide deck already. Teddy is copying the link for you in the chat box, right? Click on the link, you'll have the slide deck. And if you go on to a team meeting in the next 30 minutes together to discuss collectively what you learned and then what you want to implement individually and as a team, then you can use the slide deck. Yeah. One more thing I want to share is what we are up next, and that will be coaching skills for you in a crisis time, right? Coaching skills for leaders. And as you can see this video, I'll be coaching someone to show you how it's done. And we'll have a special webinar on strategic planning in crisis a bit later down the road. Yeah. And finally, another one from BCG about leadership in the new reality and how it's important to lead with your head, your heart, and your hands. Just like Vidya, I know many of you join as teams, and my invitation is take the next 30 minutes, if you can, to reflect together about what you learned and what you can apply individually and as a team. I look forward to being with you again in 2 weeks' time to address the very important of coaching in crisis time, and then in 4 weeks' time, talking about how practically to unleash collective intelligence, which is so helpful in finding the way forward in a crisis. Thank you all very much. Stay well, stay safe, and continue to unleash your greatness.